Good evening, I'm Keisha Butts with the CTV News Update. As the pandemic continues, the Maryland MVA is closing all branches to help slow the spread of the virus. MVA branches and vehicle emission stations will be temporarily closed for 2 weeks starting today until January 4th, as the result of an order issued by the governor on Thursday. If you have existing appointments, the agency will contact you to reschedule. If your emissions test is due, you will be given a 30-day extension. Meantime, several residents unaware of the closures were upset when they showed up today at the Largo branch.
I was coming to renew my registration, so it is really disturbing. It's very, very disturbing. Yeah, I took a day off to just come renew my registration, but now I have to go back.
I don't know why they have to say it's temporarily closed for 2 weeks, because the social distances and all that, we are maintaining that, and that is what has actually been going on. And people have been putting on their masks before coming. I don't know why they have to do that.
The 24-hour kiosk and online services will be available during the closure. After months of negotiations, congressional leaders have finally reached an agreement on a $900 billion pandemic relief bill. It includes small business loans, funding for schools, and vaccine funding. There is also money for jobless assistance and $600 stimulus checks for individuals. However, many lawmakers are concerned that the bill doesn't include funding for state and local governments.
We can definitely use the money. There are people that are losing their homes. We actually took some money to create programs where people can apply for assistance, but some of those monies are already gone, right? There's some jurisdictions that the programs have closed, and it would be nice to have funds to be able to help people with their basic needs.
What we've been doing, whether that's providing support for housing or providing support for food, or buying PPE equipment, or getting ready for vaccine distribution. All of those pieces, as well as what our municipalities have been doing, is all related to that state and local government package. So yeah, at the end of the day, we wish there was a state and local government package. But once again, I think what we got is really good.
If enacted, it will be the second largest federal stimulus package. The state's COVID numbers continue to soar. The Maryland Health Department reports more than 2,200 new cases and 23 deaths in the last 24 hours. This month alone, more than 800 Marylanders have died from the virus. Prince George's County has the highest number of COVID cases in the state. The Maryland Attorney General is warning residents about illegal COVID-19 testing sites. Attorney General Brian Frosh says unauthorized testing locations have been popping up around Baltimore City outside of shopping malls and retail stores. Officials say if you went to an illegal site, you should get retested. Frosh says scammers are trying to steal personal information at the illegal sites. For a list of the state's approved testing locations, visit covidtest.maryland.gov. As the coronavirus vaccine is being rolled out, there is word that a new strain of the disease has been discovered in Great Britain. A slew of countries have suspended travel from Britain, including Canada. Health officials say the new strain could be up to 70% more transmissible. Here in the States, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is weighing in. The governor said, quote, "It's high time the federal government takes swift action because today that variant is getting on a plane and landing in JFK, and all it takes is one person." You're watching CTV News. I'm Keisha Butts. Back with more news in a moment.
My God.
It's another sad day in America.
Painful to be introduced to George Floyd during his last breath.
With the cop's knee on his neck.
On his neck. He deserves so much more.
How many black lives have to be taken before something is done?
We are not a threat.
I am shaking as I type.
This has got to stop.
We are sick of it.
We need conviction.
I just want us all to live.
The deaths will not stop until the powers that be are finally held accountable.
Don't look away from the truth until every one of us are free from white supremacy.
The world stands with you. Aucune pitié, aucune compassion dans son regard et dans son
Criminalizing and killing of black and brown bodies is not new. It's as old as America. It's just getting filmed more.
Do you know what it feels like to be hunted? To have a new hashtag for a dead black person every single day? How does one plan a life if they aren't sure they will have a life to plan?
Deborah Dan.
Anna Pop, Stephen Clark,
Megan,
Nia Wilson,
Keisha Mike,
Christopher Dion,
George Floyd. His name was George Floyd. Say his name.
Say his name.
George Floyd. Say his name.
Say their names. Once again and always, we fight for justice. Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Rest in power, beautiful.
Go to blacklivesmatter.com.
Plans are underway to replace the Black Lives Matter sign that was violently torn down at Metropolitan AME Church during a recent DC incident. This is video of the unrest by white supremacists who were chanting "Our streets." Church leaders say they are working with law enforcement to identify the vandals. Pastor William Lamar spoke with CTV's Byron Scott about the new sign.
I'm from the hip hop generation. 1987. LL Cool J released an album called Bigger and Deffer. And what we're going to do is put up a sign bigger and blacker than the sign that was torn down. And we're going to be bold in continuing to do our work. We're also pursuing legal remedies because what was done violates our rights, and those who did it should be held accountable. And
Pastor Lamar says the new sign will go up soon. There have been 4 cold weather-related deaths in Maryland so far this season. That's according to State Health Department. The most recent deaths occurred December 8th through the 14th. 3 of the victims lived in Baltimore City and 1 lived in Baltimore County. State officials say 2 victims were homeless. A recent audit showed that some Maryland homeowners were overtaxed billions of dollars due to an improperly calculated property tax credit. The tax credit assists vulnerable residents who make less than $60,000 a year. The state tax office corrected the error for future applicants but didn't rectify past miscalculations. Now, the state legislature is taking up the issue.
And what was learned in a state audit this year is that the agency responsible for calculating, administrating the homeowner's tax credit had been miscalculating it for years. So a lot of these vulnerable Maryland homeowners had been shortchanged by hundreds or even $1,000 each year because of this miscalculation. What the agency said is that for 2020 and going forward, they're going to calculate that credit properly and give people all of the credit that they're due, but they said they're not willing to go back to previous years and make people whole, that the legislature would have to do that. So I'm introducing legislation along with a bipartisan group of legislators in the House and in the Senate that will go back in time 3 years, make people whole, give them the refunds they're due by calculating those credits correctly.
The audit revealed that miscalculations have occurred since at least 2005. The legislation would offer refunds for only the past 3 years. Police are looking for a missing Forest Heights man. This is 61-year-old George Miller. He was last seen at the 5800 block of Sashim Drive yesterday afternoon. He is 6 feet 5 inches tall and weighs close to 200 pounds. Miller was last seen wearing jeans, a gray hoodie, and black rain boots. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is asked to contact police. Food establishments take aim against dining bans across several jurisdictions in the state. The Restaurant Association of Maryland has filed a request for temporary restraining orders and preliminary injunctions against Montgomery and Prince George's counties, as well as Baltimore City. All 3 recently shut down indoor dining. Anne Arundel had planned to implement similar measures, but the restrictions were blocked by a judge hours before they were to go into effect. The Restaurant Association wants indoor dining in those locales to be returned to 50% capacity as dictated by Governor Hogan. A 15-year-old Prince George's teenager has been recognized by the state's attorney's office for his good deeds. Michael Platt has been named a Brave Justice Hero by Aisha Braveboy. Several others have also received the honor. Platt is raising awareness about ending hunger. The teen provides snack packs to local pantries to help kids in need during the pandemic.
I had a business called Michael's Desserts, and we're basically just giving away cupcakes, and it was 1 for 1. So every dessert someone buys, we would give one away to someone in need. So I wanted to work more around hunger. So I started a nonprofit called PLATT, and it stands for Power, Love, Learning, and Access to Everyone. And that's basically a nonprofit about making sure that people have access to food, and especially healthy food. So one of the things that we do with the nonprofit is snack packs. So yeah, that's where snack packs kind of came to be.
The state's attorney's office will be naming other brave heroes through Christmas Day. Tonight, just after sunset, be sure to look up in the sky facing southwest. What you'll see is a once-in-a-lifetime event, the conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn. The two bright planets have been creeping nearer to each other, and tonight they'll appear closer in the sky than they ever have since the year 1226. There was a close conjunction 400 years ago, but it wasn't visible to many on Earth. Because the event lands on a holiday week, many are calling the formation the Christmas star. It was a valiant effort, but the Washington football team loses a close game to the Seattle Seahawks. The team started out slowly and made several turnovers, but in the second half, quarterback Dwayne Haskins led Washington on 2 touchdown drives. On a potential game-winning drive in the final minutes, Haskins was sacked twice and Seattle hung on to win 20-15.
We got to start and execute like we do at the end of the game. You know, too many times we're playing catch-up ball, and against good football teams, especially this time of the year, that's not going to quite get it done.
We're not done. We have a big game next week versus Carolina. They're coming into our place, and a lot of history there with Coach Rivera and his time over there. So looking forward to the last game of the season, home game of the season, going out with a statement and, you know, playing a hard game against a good team.
We got a Panthers team that's coming in next week that we got to focus on, and we can't hang our heads and worry about this missed opportunity when we still have opportunity to make the playoffs and get what we want. This is not a time for us to hold our head down. We just got to come out better than we did this week, and hopefully we come out on the other side.
Regardless of the situation, regardless of who we're playing, regardless of the point of where it is in the season or anything, whoever we play, we're going to compete to the last and final play. That's just the mindset we have to have when trying to make this run. You know, 2 games left in this season, where we got to, you know, finish strong. So we have to have fight in us. We have to start early. We have to finish strong at the end, and that's what we're continuing to work on.
Washington takes on the Carolina Panthers next Sunday. Let's get a quick check on our 3-day weather forecast tonight. Rainy with a slight chance of snow and a low around 36 degrees. Tuesday, mostly sunny with a high near 48 and a low around 29. Wednesday, mostly sunny with daytime and evening temps ranging in the mid to low 40s. Thursday, showers likely with a high near 59 and a low around 31 degrees. And now for the community calendar. Attention District 2 parents and students. Now is the time for high school seniors to start filling out college scholarship applications. The Ron Brown Scholarship Program awards talented teens who are making significant contributions in their community. Recipients can receive up to $40,000 in scholarship money. To find out more about the program, visit ronbrown.org. And that wraps up our CTV News Update. Join us again tomorrow at 4:30. Have a good night.
For the latest information on COVID-19 in Maryland, visit the State Health Department website. That's health.maryland.gov. Again, health.maryland.gov. Click the link to the COVID-19 information portal. There you'll find all the latest information about coronavirus. You'll find daily updates on cases and fatalities. Answers to questions about testing and the governor's stay-at-home order are available as well. For specific information about Prince George's, visit PrinceGeorgesCountyMD.GOV. That's PrinceGeorgesCountyMD.GOV. The site offers information about local services for residents and businesses. There's a link for COVID-19 relief donations. Also, food pantry locations are listed. And if you have any questions, call the county COVID-19 hotline at 301-883-6627.